So at this point, we all heard the news, and I would like to address the asshats who decided to be like, hey, I'm so glad he got hurt. What a bonehead move. What an idiot. But, like, listen here. Listen here, fucking turds. Yeah, little turds. And the background is fitting because it involves Chase. And I didn't want to believe the news, but he, like he does every fucking year while we're on the West Coast, he goes snowboarding. It's not a crime to go snowboarding in between fucking races. In between races. He always does this every year. No issue. One year he goes, yeah, he gets hurt. He's getting surgery tonight. Hopefully he only misses one race, which is this weekend. He won't be racing on Sunday. Josh Berry will be filling in for him on Sunday. So, good luck to Josh Berry, but I can't root for another man in that car if it's not Chase. Like, I can't do it. That just breaks his consecutive streak of 254 starts since he started in the Cup Series. I am very upset. But I know he'll be okay. We want a fast, speedy recovery, and people are talking bullshit now about the waiver. And I'm like, it didn't stop. They didn't. Tony Stewart, remind me if I'm wrong or not. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't Tony Stewart get a fucking waiver way back when? For when he got hurt outside of NASCAR? But people are like saying, oh, they probably will deny Chase because it wasn't a racing incident. Regardless, it's an injury. A medical waiver, racing or not, he's allowed one. They're not going to deny the most popular driver and a past champion a waiver just because the injury didn't happen while it was inside of a race car. And people are like, and some dickhead decided to comment on one of my tweets. And I realized I need to stop doing that because these people are complete morons. This person, I will not name names because they are not worth mentioning because they're clear morons, says, well, because this was the tweet, if he can't race next week either, then I don't know who to root for on Sunday. Of course, I want either Bowman or Byron to win, but I just can't root for another driver that's driving my favorite driver's car. Like, I just can't root for like, I'm wishing Josh Berry a very, like, awesome race and how we get more experience behind the wheel of an actual competitive car, because the 9 car, Hendrick, hello. But I just can't root for him in that car. And this person's like, well, for years you called Kyle's first title a fraud. Now if Chase wins this year, will it be... I'm like, what does that comment have to do with that tweet? I'm sorry, but what? In what universe did I ever say Kyle Busch's first championship was a fraud? Like, let's rewind and say, on record, I never said that. I said that about his second title, 2019 title. I still believe is a fraud. Still believe it to this day. But that's not the point here. 2015, his first title, I have defended with, like, every dying fucking breath to these people who want to believe, like, oh, he missed half a season and got a waiver and blah, blah, and, like, going on this rant saying he didn't deserve it and whatnot. And I said, like, well, he kind of did. He got a waiver. He met all the requirements, won 5 races, and was like top 30 in points, which they got rid of, thankfully. So Chase will come back. He'll go win a race. We'll go win a race or two, like handful of races, kick some ass, get some revenge from last year, and go fight for a championship. We're gonna have 2015 Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott this year. Mark my words. Hopefully he doesn't miss 11 races. I doubt he will. So, but the fact that people are saying, someone else said something stupid. It's like Kyle at least got a waiver because he got hurt while racing. Would love to see NASCAR deny Chase one. It's like, can we be more ignorant? Like, be more ignorant. They're talking about it right now. Due to a leg injury, Elliott, the 2020 Cup Series champion, suffered the injury to his left leg today while snowboarding in Colorado. He is scheduled to undergo surgery this evening. Josh Berry, 32 years old, will fill in for Elliott in Sunday's event at Las Vegas, driving for Hendrick Motorsports affiliate Junior Motorsports. He is a 5-time race winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the Hendersonville, Tennessee native has made 2 previous starts at the Cup level. Team owner Rick Hendrick issued this statement earlier today. He said Chase's health is our primary concern. He has spoken with several members of our team and is understandably disappointed to miss time in the car. Of course, he has our full support and will provide any resources he needs. We hope to share another update later this weekend. So we are certainly thinking about Chase Elliott and hoping that he has a quick recovery. What does this mean for Chase and for the team moving forward?
Yeah, well, first thing that comes to mind is, Chase didn't set out on the...
Okay, brief pause there, because they were talking about the whole Chase thing. People that are hoping that he gets denied the waiver are super fucking ignorant, and people who wish and glad he got hurt deserve a special place in fucking hell. I'm sorry, but that is a special kind of ignorance in this fan base, and that is why I hate it so much. No matter how much you hate a driver, and I hate using the word hate because it's such a strong word, don't ever wish injury or death, for that matter, on anyone or any athlete or any driver, for that matter, just because you have some weird punctual, like, whatever, fixed up hatred for him, like Chase Elliott. Like, he's one of the most hated, like, most popular drivers in the goddamn sport. Not even gonna lie. For as much as he is Mr. Most Popular and a champion of this sport, people are like so happy he's hurt. And I'm like, that is not okay. As a fan base, we need to do better. And we need to stop with this hypocritical comments and putting words in my mouth and saying misinformation and whatever. Because that's not okay. It's not okay. I'm like, dude. Like, I get, drivers are out supposed to live their lives. Yes, was it kind of dumb? Yes. But he's been doing this for years upon years, and crap happens. He can't stop living life just because you're racing and whatever. But I don't know. It's just too much. Way too fucking much. It's like, I didn't want to believe the news, but it happened. It's like, of all the drivers to happen it to, I didn't want it to be my driver. Or any driver, but I just didn't want it to be my driver. Especially when we're only 2 races into the season and you're sitting 14th in points Like, I'm not worried about the point situation right now, but it's just because you don't know how long he's going to be out. It's like 2-3 weeks. We don't know. But he will get a waiver, people, just because you have pent up frustration and hate towards him. Don't wish he won't get one. Because pretty sure Tony Stewart was injured at one point in his NASCAR career, and he didn't get hurt while driving in NASCAR. Like, oh, but I was in racing, but yeah, but it wasn't within NASCAR, was it? I digress. But other news, Kyle Busch is doing a triple header this weekend in his home city or town, whatever you want to call it, in Las Vegas. There's something about this place that plagues Chase from ever doing well and just not being able. Besides the point, he's running trucks, which he got the pole in. Xfinity, he has to go to a backup due to a tire issue, but he's in a call cars. And his teammate for the weekend, for tomorrow, Chandler Smith, won the pole for the Xfinity race, so I'm happy for him. It's just weird that he's still 20 years old, only 20 years old, married with a baby. These drivers are just getting much younger than possible. But truck races tonight. Kyle Busch is on the pole. Hailie Deegan. News. It's not like big news, but she qualified top 5, and she qualified really fucking early. And she was sitting second for a while behind Busch. But she's sitting P5 starting tonight, and it's one of her favorite tracks and I think one of her better tracks, and with a more competitive team. And what I feel like with a solid truck speed-wise, she should do fairly well, and hopefully stupidity doesn't emerge from the other drivers, which is pretty much the only reason that she has problems, because little boys don't know how to drive in this series. So, I'm hoping she has a good run tonight. I will probably be asleep by then because I have to work at 1:30 in the morning. I probably won't be live streaming this weekend because I'm going to go out and some around to make some money to have to spend for Chase merch to support my boy still, regardless if he's racing on next Sunday or not. And hopefully it's something minor, but we're just wishing Chase a speedy recovery and all goes well with his surgery, and hopefully the ignorant comments can go bye-bye. But this just shows that how toxic and ignorant people can be in this fan base. But they want to call Chase fans nasty, ugly, crazy people, but they go off thinking insulting Chase just because they feel superior as a fan of another driver doesn't paint a good picture for that fan base. Just letting you know that now. It's a little hypocritical that you go spit fire on someone else's fan, like a driver's fan base, but will talk shit and nasty comments towards that driver, but it's not okay to have. But it's perfectly okay to slander the entire fan base and say they're ugly, nasty, toxic, crazy people when you're out slandering the driver himself and wishing and hoping he got hurt and glad he got hurt. So don't tell us a fan base, that we're crazy and toxic when your ugliness and ignorance comes out in the comments. And I see it every day in every Chase post I see. It's ignorance and hypocritical double standards. I never call out a fan base ever. Every fan base has their people that are out there and paint a bad light, but we're not, as a Chase fan base, we're all actually very tame. We're just very passionate for our driver. There are some out there people, don't get me wrong, but you don't group them with us. Like my good 95% of us are sane people. We know what the hell we're talking about when it comes to racing. We don't kiss Chase's ass. Yes, I support him 100%. Everything he does, everything he says, not so much. But I support him as a driver 100%. Some things he does, yes, is questionable. But I will always love and support him as a driver till my dying breath. So, whether you think Chase is a horrible human being, that's on you. That's a personal problem on your part. And if you feel like we're all horrible human beings in the Chase fan base, that's a more of a personal problem, because that's an assumption. You guys make assumptions all the time about us, saying like, oh, this and this and this, like all these stupid things that are not remotely true. How about, like, we're crying about this, mad about this, and like, when you're not in our heads and don't know any of us, like, at all, personally, like, but when we're like just having a little smack talk on other drivers, like, you can't say that, but you can talk shit and disgusting, ignorant comments on an injured driver. I see your comments, people. You're not sneaky, and it's not cute to make idiotic, ignorant jokes or wish ill or injury on a driver. I don't give a shit who it is. I don't like when injuries happen in any sport to anyone. Like back when Derek Carr got hurt with the Raiders, I despise the Raiders because I'm a Chargers fan. I despise the Raiders, and he's no longer part of the Raiders. Just FYI, he was released. But it hurt my soul to see him hurt, like physically hurt. He was in a lot of pain. He missed games because of that. And people were saying stupid, ignorant, nasty comments, making stupid jokes all the time over this deal. And it just broke my heart. And they're doing it now just because the assumption acclaimed golden boy of NASCAR, which is still Bubba, is now injured and not racing on Sunday. It's perfectly all happy sunshine and rainbows because the guy they don't like isn't racing against their probably their driver that they kiss ass constantly and think is better than Chase. And someone comments like, "Oh, goody, finally a real driver in the 9 car." Like this week, I'm like, Josh Berry has had like a few starts in the Cup Series. He's not a real driver compared to Chase. Like, he's very good in Xfinity, don't get me wrong, but Cup is a whole different animal. But so once again, I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but to those shitting on Chase right now, get a fucking life and grow up. It is not okay to wish injury on a driver, whether you like him or not. So, aww. so sad. Anyway, but my point is, don't be assholes. Just stop being assholes. We all love this sport equally. Yes, it has its flaws, but we shouldn't. I'll keep repeating myself. We should not keep slandering drivers this way when they're hurt, sick, whatever. Chase had never missed a race up until now. That's 254 fucking starts out the fucking window. Like consecutive starts out the fucking window. But he still has a long way to go to get those consecutive starts back. So, he's still young. He can still drive. He's only 27. He has a championship already. 18 wins so far. We'll probably hopefully get more this season. So, once he comes back, better than ever and gonna kick everyone's ass. And pull off a Kyle Busch of 2015. So, but that's only hoping. So, he will be back. It's just hoping he'll have that kind of season. But not be out for 11 races. So, anyway, to all the Chase fans, yes, we have a heavy heart right now, but we all want him to be healthy, have a speedy recovery, and get him to the track as soon as possible. But again, when he's 100%, that's all we want. And once he comes back, he can go and kick some ass and get some revenge from last year, and just prove all the haters wrong of how well and great he is as a driver. So, but yeah, it's sad, but crap, like, it happens. It literally happens. So, not much else to say. If you can't stop living life just because you have a racing job. Imagine saying that was but it's like this is not the first time he's gone snowboarding during the season, so Hendrick is well aware that Chase snowboards. He's not gonna like not allow him to go do shit on his free time, like in between races. Like, this crap happens. Like, simple shit you do around the house, you can get hurt. Like, one of my favorite pitchers on the Padres, one of our best pitchers on the Padres, broke his fucking toe by landing a kettlebell on his fucking toe. Just at the start of spring training, like, during spring training. Shit fucking happens. Like, Tatis getting hurt last year before the season started, and people were shitting on him then. It's like, shit, you can't not allow people to not live their, like, just be human beings. Like, Tatis got slandered for a while he's a human being. Yes, he's an athlete, but he's also a human fucking being. But on both ends, I hope they recover well. Two of my favorite people. It's like, what's with my favorite athletes getting hurt? Like, Herbert was hurt pretty much all season last season. Like, and he had surgery on his shoulder. But he'll be fully healthy by the time we get back to into the new season. And now Chase with his leg injury, we don't know the extent of it, but pretty sure it's minor since they're not really saying much. And Joe Musgrove with the toe injury. So just want to get you all up to date on that. So I'll post this and just enjoy the weekend, guys. Let's not be be so goddamn mad all the time? Why are we mad for no reason and being hateful for no reason? Just enjoy the races, people. It's not that difficult. We shouldn't be at battle with each other. So, deuces.